Everybody, welcome back. Got a video for you, most importantly, to help you figure out what the maximum or potential maximum, because 2 times 0 still equals 0, shards you can potentially get for Polaris if you're trying to unlock Atom Wallet. We're also going to hit on the blog briefly from today, Friday, June 18th, and also got a ISO kind of little gripe as well with one of the events that's coming across. So, you know, we're already kind of salty about this ISO stuff. I'm going to throw a little bit more into that bunch. So anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by. If you're new to the channel, check out the Discord link in the description below. It's where we communicate, put a lot of the content out there. You can follow along. Mainly because as we push towards that 10K mark on the sub mount, we're going to do a giveaway, right? So I like to call it the 10K giveaway. So we're getting there closer and closer. If you want to enroll in that or be, you know, have a chance to win, all you got to do is comment below. That's it. You want to help the algorithm to get more people, get more subscribers? All you got to do is hammer down on that like button. That's pretty much it, right? Got some couple sponsors in the links below. Obviously still doing Amazon coins. So if you're wailing like crazy on this stuff, you know, love you. Go ahead and check that Amazon coins link. You got to do that every time you spend or buy those coins. And you know what? I guess apparently it works anytime you buy anything on Amazon. So if you want to do it just to help support the channel, I'd love you. All right. Anyway, let's check this stuff out.
Bring me WolverThor!
All right, so we're going to start with the blog first. All right, so there's some stuff, and I'm not going to read word for word on here. You guys have probably seen this for the most part. We've got an event coming up for, is basically the way I look at it is the Black Widow movie. So it's going to be one of those events where you do a bunch of stuff and you get rewards. So these typically end up being a lot of blitz more, blitz more, blitz more. I would just expect it to be that. I'm not sure if I'll even do a spreadsheet for it necessarily, because these events are pretty they're kind of cookie cutter at this point, where you get a 5 red star of some character and a bunch of other gear. So then, like I said, there's some orbs that you're gonna get some, you know, different rewards from them. Yeah, there's nothing really exciting here. There was did they change it? No, it's not there yet. The milestones, so you open the orbs to get some points towards the milestones. Again, we're pretty used to these events where it's you go do something, you get fragments, open orbs bring you down the milestone list. That's what we got here, right? There's another milestone here where you're if you do this is what I was going to talk about, arena raids and war. Originally this said actually RTA, which I was like, hey, you guys are finally rewarding us a little bit more for RTA. Apparently that was a typo. I don't know. I think it would be nice to have that out there. You know, it's not like RTA is the most fun game mode. We're basically just doing it because we feel like we have to do it to keep up. I think there's some nice options out there to make that game mode better. We'll see if they do any of it. But yeah, anyway, so they got some additional milestones there. 2 days. You get your pink bits where you get the Black Widow snowsuit costume, which I actually think is pretty sweet. If you look at it in game here, if you go check her out, it's actually a pretty cool costume. But you got to remember she's stealth quite a bit. So, you know, I like the snowsuit. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty similar to what she's got here. You know, but anyway, it looks like it's kind of mirrored. It looks like the face might be a little different, but yeah, I think it's a pretty cool costume. So if you're looking to try to get that, that's what we're talking about here, about these pink phase bits. Continue logging in every 14 days to get some gear and more. Who knows what the more is? Probably nothing exciting. And then you get some additional campaign energy. Of course, they say not ISO 8. That'd be nice. That'd be one of those things that they could have done now to help a little bit. Anyway, that's not the salt I'm talking about. Let's see. They've got the training mats 2 times gold from the nodes. So all these things nice. You know, these are good things. Generally speaking, this blog was pretty solid. For the most part, except for about what we're going to get in here soon. So June 28th for Atom Warlock. Adam Wallet's legendary event. So that gives us about 10 days from this blog post to get ready for this event. We already knew it was likely going to be that day. I've been mentioning that in a couple videos. Hopefully you guys caught on to that. It seems like that just made the most sense. So it goes through the different requirements on the different levels where you're looking at, 5 stars, 6 stars, where you need different gear tier levels, ISO levels. And that's kind of the thing that everyone's been griping about between the Doom raids, and obviously this character unlock. And then I'll get to the other part of this Salt in a second. And then it talks about the 6-star and the 7-star unlock. So, all right, we already gonna know all this stuff, but now we know the date. June 28th. It's coming, right? So here's the part that is the most important aspect of this and where we're gonna dive into the maximum shards for Polaris, because we now know that she will be available on June 22nd, which is on Tuesday of next week. Right now it's Friday, June 18th, so it's about 4 days away. And you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days to start farming before the event starts. Remember, these events typically go 5 days the first go round. So you'll get a whole total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think 11 days to get to farm. I was making sure I was looking in between the days and the resets and all that stuff. So I believe it should be 11 days to be able to farm this. So question is what is the maximum amount you can actually farm, right? So let's check that out. So, of course, I put it in a spreadsheet. Basically, days here that we're going to be, I'll zoom in a little bit, but you got the days across, just how many days? 11 days. These are the days it's going on, 6/20 through 7/2. July 2nd, I believe, is the end of the event. I've highlighted these green because there should be, and Zeke's confirmed this on Discord, there should be 2 days of double drops. I know 2 times 0 still equals 0, but let's just factor that in, okay? And then I've highlighted this day yellow because that's the start of the Adam Warlock Wallet event. Then I've got average shards per day, 2 days of double drops if you do 50 core refreshes, if you do 100 core refreshes, and you get 2 of those refreshes, and that's on the node itself. I'll talk about this, planning a little bit better for those 2 times days to make sure you're wise about when you use those. And then, if you do some additional 100 cores, and then I get into doing more cores every day. So we're running with the average of 2.5 as far as the actual average. I don't have any math or any science behind this. I've just talked to enough people. I talked to Yule a little bit, talked to some people in my alliance. We're all kind of thinking this is probably about what people end up with. Could be higher, could be lower, because it's a percent chance, right? So and we don't have a database with an actual study behind this. We're just gonna go with 2.5. So if you're just gonna do the farm every day for 2.5, you're basically gonna get about 27, 28 shards. That's all you're gonna get. All right, now throw in 2 days of double drops, that's technically 2.5, another 2.5, which is another 5. All right, now I want to focus on this one for a second. All right, so when you've got these double days, make sure that you hold off on farming that shard or that node until after the reset. Don't hit it until the reset happens, then farm it to get the 2 time, then you get the reset at night, and then you can do the 2 times again. So you can do the 2 times, the double drop of shards 2 times. Hope you're following me there, right? So wait until the reset. Note the day it's going to be a double drop event. Wait until reset. As soon as that reset goes and the double drop goes into effect, then use it. And then all of your nodes get reset overnight. When you wake up in the morning, you can do the 2 times again. So you can take advantage of it on multiple days. Maybe an easier way to say it. So you can get 4 days out of those 2 times events. So we factored in an additional 2.5 right here on those days, right? So then when you're looking at potentially refreshing the node, if you want to use both 50 core refreshes, basically you get another opportunity for 2.4 shards 2 times. For every time regardless of the amount of cores you're going to use, you just take that 2.5 and use it every time you refresh the node and just put it in. So if you do it for 250s, it's 5. If you do it for 200s, it's 5. Okay, regardless of the amount of cores you spend, it's still an opportunity. It's still 5, right? So what we're doing here is, let's zoom out a little bit again. So what we got here is all these different things, and we sum over here. So originally we said the average shards per day is about 27, 28. All right, then you do the double drops, you get an additional 5. If you plan properly, you get an additional 5 again. So that's, you know, again, it's not going to, you know, make or break you necessarily, but, you know, depending on how many cores you use, it could. If you do the 50, now this is where you really start getting the shards up there is, if you're doing the core refreshes. So you get an additional 55 if you refresh the node twice and use both sets of 50 cores. You get 55. So that'll give you about a total of 88 shards if you're using 2 50 core refreshes, and that'll cost you about 1,100 cores over the cost of this 11-day span. So make sure that you plan appropriately and you have those cores saved up. That'll give you, and it's an average cost of about 20 cores per shard, not too terribly bad. So that's reasonably cheap considering their economy. Now, again, I mentioned if you're doing 200 core refreshes, I would save those for probably the double drop days. That gives you an additional 10, which brings you up to about 97. Again, I talked about the planning properly for the 2 time days. If you do that, what's that get us here? That's 102. And then if you decide to do the 100 core refreshes on the double drop day, you're going to be up to about 112, 113 shards over this 11-day span. Okay, so that's not too bad. If you really want to like actually go nuts on this thing, you could do the 100 cores on every day. That'll give you an additional 35 cores, so that'll get you up about 148. Again, as you can see, as the more cores you use, the price, the amount of cores per shard goes up. You know, if you're doing 100 cores over the course of the whole thing, that's 2,100 cores. If you're doing, if you're doing 50 cores every day and then doing the 100 cores on just the double drop event, that's 2,100 cores, which is, you know, a good chunk. And then if you decide to do 100 cores every day, that is actually 3,850. So that's a lot of cores. That's almost 4,000 cores that you're going to try to get these shards. And like once you start getting these 100 cores, and remember, your total doesn't necessarily go up. You know what I mean? It's going to be what it's going to be. It's still, your average is still 5. So you really want to try to avoid getting to these higher because these higher core usages. But if you want to go up to 100 cores for the course of the whole thing, that's 148, like I said. If you want to go to 200 core refreshes every day, that's about 200 shards. That's a lot. That's pretty expensive. If you go up to the 200 cores per day, that's an overall 7,350 cores over the course of this event. I mean, that's almost like the $100 core cost in the store. I think it's like 8,000 cores. So $100 for essentially, what is that? 200 shards. I don't know. I guess maybe. I mean, maybe that tracks. And then, you know, look, we should get another 5 from the calendar. I don't expect them to give us 2 days of Polaris. I don't think they're going to be that nice to us, but if they did, then you'd be able to get a total of about 207. So that's what you're talking about on this event, on this node farming. And again, this is total luck. It could be way lower than this. It could be higher than this. It all depends where you land, and we're just using the 2.5 average. So look at where you're at. You know, that'll make you decide, do I really want to push this event? Am I close? Do I want to give up? Maybe it'll help you decide if you want to buy an offer to get you a little closer. I don't know. You know, and that's something that you've got to factor in for yourself. You might decide if you want to, maybe there's an X Factor orb they put in there, but this is about what you're going to look at as far as the actual amount of shards. So hope that part was helpful for you. I definitely wanted to drop that in there. ISO 8 calendar, back to the blog. We've got, let's see, a calendar that can help you ramp up. Blue, starting June 21st, log in every day to get some basic orb fragments, premium 1 orb fragments. So, all right, I mean, that's helpful. Again, you know, what is that? What did I say? That was June 21st. So that's a day before. We do need, I don't understand why these aren't already here, but whatever. We got blitzes coming up in Daredevil and Iceman. I know I need Iceman shards, so happy to see that. Then we've got a bonus event. What is it? Chaos Theory here, right? Let's see. Fantastic Legendary as well as silver promo. Oh, they're just the intro. So we've got the double drop events for the Sinister Six. That's probably for what? Shuri, I guess. And then the Chaos Theory. So, which rewards the double payouts for Wakandans. So anyway, that's what we got in the blog. The other part that I want to finish this video up with, what we got here is exactly a little bit of salt. I want to throw in some more on what's going on with this and Black Widow, speaking of which is a good transition, is this event. So back to training, right? So I did my tier 4, I did my tier 5, and I'm getting ready to do tier 6. What do you know? What do you know? It's like 6 stars and level 2 ISO 8. I'm like, all right, so let's go check out my roster here. What's my problem? What is my problem here? Skill, military, skill. Oh, I've got to use ISOs. Awesome. So what do I got? I got a blaster here, so I can sit here and decide between her's a blaster, he's a blaster. So I can take either one up. It doesn't matter. And I use them both in there. Yelena's a little bit lower. You know, I got to look on here. It's like, how many do I've got? All right. So I've actually got decent amount of crystals for blasters. So I'm all right. My problem is what about the ions, right? So I've got to go here, and I've got, it's level 3, right? So I'm going here, the event, check it out. No, level 2. So, all right. So all I'm going to do, and this is the part that, while I'm salty about this, I would recommend only going up as much as you need, because right now we want to save as much as we can for these events for Adam Warlock unlocks and really Doom, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you know, that to me is where I'm looking at it, right? So I'm like, all right, so I'm now level 2 with her. Now I've got to go back, and the nice part about this is I've already got Killmonger at level 3, so I'm not going to waste my time with Merc Soldier, right? So I just had to bring her to level 2. Everyone else is up. I'll go back in here and I'll do this event. They're pretty easy, and luckily I only have one, but you know, it's just like really more ISO stuff. Like, come on, like why are you doing this to me? So I hope this was helpful to you guys. Again, I wanted to talk a little bit about the blog. I wanted to talk about the Polaris stuff, talk about, you know, how many of the max shards you could potentially get. If I've done something wrong in the math there, please comment below. Come to the Discord, let us know so that we can share with everybody. I'll make sure to pin a comment that corrects it. But that's where you're at if you want to spend and all those kind of things. And one of the things I always like to say to people spending is make sure you know, live within your own habits. You know, don't ruin your bills and all that stuff. Go in trouble with your partner earning. So. Okay, late add to this. We've got some data mines in that I wanted to add. So what these are showing, basically, this whole section here is what we had early on in the video from the blog that was talking about that event with the Web of Spies, how you're going to get some training materials. You can freeze this and read through all of this if you want. I don't see a lot in here other than what we already talked about, though it does say again, this is kind of hilarious if you think about it. Maybe this is pulling from the blog. I don't know. But it says win real-time arena matches again. So this is in the JSON files. I don't know. Maybe the blog's whatever. Maybe it'll be real-time arena, maybe it won't. I don't know. I'm not gonna, I mean, it's right there. You can see where my mouse is. It says the real-time arena. Okay, so anyway, let's see. It talks about the energy overload, gold rush, blah, blah, blah. Web of Spy when the event ends, the conversion rate for the characters. So this part I really wanted to focus on and make sure, because this is a hot, let me get out of the way a little bit here, is right here, the dark promotion credits increase. You can see 1,500 to 2,000. So, you know, people were kind of wanting that to be bumped up a little bit. So there you go. Now you can get up over that 1,500 mark, because you know what? We look at our math more than anybody else. So that's there. And then we've got an increased drop rate. Jump into this other slide here. You got to go towards the bottom. This is all the same up here. but it shows that there's an increased chance for red stars for all of the Infinity Watch team. So you get that standard 4% drop rate for the entire team. Adam Wallet, Gamora, Moondragon, Nebula, phyla-vell. So, you know, if you wanted to try to get, you know, Gamora or Nebula or something, that's your chance. So, yeah, I just wanted to throw this in at the end, and that's it. That's all I got. Like I mentioned, doing the 10K giveaway, so follow along in the Discord link in the description below. Do the subscribe, hammer down that like button, click the notification bell, and until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.